You're listening to Miss Style, Strength, and Grace with Deidra Murphy. This is your one-stop shop for style, fashion, health, and fitness. Deidra's passion is to help empower women to reach their fullest potential, both inside and out. Deidra and her guests will be discussing how to develop your style, health, and lifestyle hacks to energize your day and inspire you to keep reaching higher levels of success. Deidra is a professional fashion stylist, health guru, and Mrs. Washington 2017. It's time to get open and honest with Deidra.
Well, hello and welcome, listeners. Today, I'm super excited to introduce you to somebody that I've actually only met one other time, sort of in person, but she's from my hometown right here in Tri-Cities, Washington. And her name is Elise Fleming. She's a 27-year-old high school PE and health teacher. I get it. I was a former teacher in my past life. She's also a fitness influencer, and we'll get more into that and what that entails. A National Academy of Sports Medicine certified personal trainer. Wow, say that 5 times fast. Plus, she's also a high school volleyball, track and field coach, a running, fitness, health and enthusiast, and when not at the high school, coaching or influencing via social media, Elise can be found spending time with her husband of 4 years and her little fur baby, which I can't wait to find out more about. So hello and welcome, Elise. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to just talk all things fitness. It's my favorite.
Yay. And that goes directly into my whole message with my podcast, Miss Style, Strength, health, wellness, fitness, and grace. So why don't we start off with a little bit of background, who you are, what you do, share us with all the things, all the details.
Yes. You did such a good job. I was like, that introduction, there's so many words and randomness, but I feel like what it all boils down to is just like living the fit life and sharing the fit life with others and doing that in so many different ways. And I love all the ways I get to do it. So it includes being a high school PE health teacher and leadership teacher at Kamiakin High School, and I get to influence like youth, our teens, and get to teach them about health and about taking care of themselves, taking care of their bodies, and that goes right along with coaching because the athletes, same thing, they want to be at their absolute best, and so we can talk nutrition and health and how to care for their physical body, but also how to be a mentally tough athlete. And from there, going into fitness influencing via social media, having the chance to connect with just thousands of women all around the nation and even around the world who want to live their healthiest life and want to be a part of a community that is going to support them to do that. And so basically I just have all these really unique but awesome opportunities to help people learn about their body and how to take care of themselves. And it's been a great experience. I absolutely love everything that I get to do, and I can say that with 100% honesty.
I love that. And I can see your passion. Obviously, I can see you via the internet, but my listeners can't, so they can hear it in your voice, I'm sure. But it's just so funny because I think about my middle school and high school PE coaches, and they were not health conscious at all. My own PE coach in high school couldn't even do the push-ups because, he kind of could, but it was just because his belly could hit the floor, while he's up in the push-up position. And it's just so inspiring to see somebody that's so young, already in charge of her health, and now influencing the next generation on how to take care of their bodies. Because it's not just about can you do a push-up? But, why? That means you're fit in order to do the hard work.
Right, most definitely. And I think so many people have had that experience growing up of PE classes in high school or middle school were taught by people who didn't embrace a healthy lifestyle themselves. And that's a really big part of my profession in terms of trying to advocate for people who are physical health and education majors to represent their major and their education well, not only in the knowledge, but also in the practical application of doing that and showing students that it is possible to live a healthy life for your entire life, and that it's not something that you just do in PE class for a semester and then you move on, but that fitness is for everyone and everyone can find a healthy lifestyle that works for them. And I guess I believe that, and I want to see that in education even more than I see it now.
Yeah, no, I love that. Well, and too, it shows that it's not just a one, like you said, a one class in high school, but a lifestyle and a journey which I want to know, what is your journey? Because I know that this has not been something that you've practiced your whole life. So with my listeners and I, share with us your story when it comes to your own journey and struggles with health and wellness.
Most definitely. I think my story was that of the young athlete who kind of like lost her way somewhere around the middle and trying to figure out like who I was. But growing up, I was always in athletics. I was a family of 3 girls. We all did sports, and we all went on to do college sports as well, compete at Division I and D2 colleges in those sports. So being active was something that I had embraced my entire life, all the way through college athletics. And I was majoring in health and fitness. I was learning about food and nutrition and how to care for my body. And I wouldn't say I was practicing the best nutrition, but when you're young and you're active, you just like go with the flow and eat whatever. And, you think it will always be that way.
Well, and it's not like colleges provide the most healthy food options like in their cafeterias. Let's be real.
Our food environment was not like the easiest thing to pick from. But basically, after I finished college athletics, I got married and started my career and lost this like athlete side of me where I just showed up to practice and I was told what to do to be physically active. And so even though I was a certified personal trainer and I had these nutrition courses, having that knowledge and then being faced with the reality of life that you aren't just given 2 hours to work out every day, and people don't just like pay for your stuff so that you can be able to do that, and that you have to go and like work a career job and work a 9 to 5 and even do like coaching sports after that, and then bouncing a new relationship like a marriage. So many people go through big life transitions, and that's the time typically when we kind of lose ourselves. You know, we lose our focus on our fitness or our health. And for me, that was my transition, was the married life and the loss of those college sports. And so it took me about 6 months before I hit my heaviest weight of all time, and I hadn't been working out and worked out in multiple months, and I just didn't know what to do with my health. And that was when I reached out to my sister, and just having someone as accountability and said like, hey, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't feel great. You know, I don't feel comfortable. I don't know if I am an athlete or what that means to me anymore. And she recommended Tone It Up, which I'm sure like we'll get into more, but basically recommended like this fitness program that's like, hey, free workouts and like just eating healthy and doing that with a community of people. So I embraced that, and it began my weight loss journey and my journey back to health and back to taking care of myself. And it wasn't a smooth journey. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of ups and downs, including weight loss and then gaining back and figuring out how to just find this lifestyle that's going to be maintainable, like not a crash diet or not something that's like a week or it lasts a month and then you don't know what to do. And so it was probably about a year and a half of my weight loss journey, and I had a decent amount of weight to lose. I lost 40 pounds during that journey, and during that it was like lose 20, gain 15, and then like after that I was like, I need to figure out how to be able to maintain this. And so I had to start again, you know, even during that time period. But I decided to just approach it in a more longevity type of way, that this is going to be fitness and health for life. And that's why now I've been maintaining my weight loss for the last 2 years. And to know that it is possible, that you can be an awesome athlete and then go to this totally different side of fitness and health and have those things lost, but know that that's not the end for you. It's just an opportunity to like start again and to learn to do it in a new way that works for your new life now. Because the way you do fitness now won't always work later.
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, it's true. Like, I already think about that right now. I don't have kids, so I can give myself an hour to work out in the morning, but one day I'll have kids, so it might be like, hey, today I got in a 20-minute high-intensity interval training, and that was like my win for the day, you know? So you have to be able to adapt.
Most definitely. And 5 a.m. workouts, like, they don't work for everyone, you know? And we don't need to, like, force that. We need to find a lifestyle and a time and a place for ourselves and our fitness that is going to work for us at this point in time, and then be okay with when that changes, finding a new system that's still going to work for us and still accomplish the same goals. And it's not like, oh, I didn't work out at 5 a.m. or my workout's not at the crack of dawn, so it's not meaningful. You know, I was like, just the fact that you're moving your body, you're moving it every day. I know when I was losing weight, I was only working out 15 to 30 minutes at home. I had no gym membership. Like, we were newlyweds. There was no money for some like awesome massive gym membership or anything like that. I was working out at home with minimal gym equipment and just prepping my own meals at home. And you can have success like that, and you can have success with your fancy gym membership that's expensive and meal prepped meals coming to your door for you. There's lots of different ways to go about it, but you have to be okay with finding the one that works for you and then changing that when something happens and it doesn't work for you anymore.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I'm connecting with you so much on this because I went through a similar story, similar journey. I was 40 pounds heavier at my worst as well. And when I first started losing weight, I didn't have a fancy gym. Most of my workouts were done at home, or we traveled a lot. Right. So there was a lot of times where I'm like, well, my workout today is running and using park benches in creative ways.
Right. Hotel stairs. Yeah. I'm at the hotel. I'm just going to go to the stairs and do like push-ups on the stairs and do like some squat jumps at the bottom of the stairs and run up and down in between.
Some tricep dips.
You're like, hopefully they have a fitness center. It might even be nicer than my workout.
Exactly. Actually, one time my husband and I were traveling to visit my brother, and he lived near a park. So my husband and I ran to the park, and there was all this, kids, jungle gym, play equipment. So we made our own little fitness routine with that. We're like, okay, and here we're going to do pull-ups, and here you're going to do quote unquote box jumps on the stairs, and then you're going to run through this, so we made our own little HIIT exercise. I love that.
It was though, like, where there's a will, there's a way. So if I'm really dedicated to like my health and my fitness, then being out of town isn't going to stop me from accomplishing my goals, or anything like that. I can always find a way. Or not having the money for a gym membership isn't going to stop me from accomplishing my goals because I've decided what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to find a way to accomplish that.
I think you just hit the nail on the head right there. Like, you decided, and it no longer became about like, oh, well, if it's convenient. No, it became, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm dedicated to. And it became there's a word I'm looking for and I can't think of it. So it might come back to my head later, but a resolve. I think that's the word I'm looking for, is just a resolution, not like just a fancy, it's a New Year's resolution, but it's that true resolve within. I love that.
Definitely. I think that I've been reading, I can't even help it. I've been reading the Rachel Hollis book, Girl Wash Your Face. Yes. Yeah. Amazing, right? And I feel like I'm talking to myself because I was like, I believe all of these things. I'm like, I've talked about all of these things, but one of the ones that really resonated with me was the same thing I always try to talk about, commitment. Once you've made a commitment to yourself that you need to take it seriously, and the way she puts it is, don't break promises to yourself. That if you have a friend who breaks promises to you, that would be hurtful to you and your relationship, and that it's hurtful to yourself when you break promises with yourself, and it's hurtful to your relationship with yourself and how you care for yourself. And I was like, that has huge implications for your entire life and what you decide you're going to do. But especially when it comes down to fitness, because you said that word convenient, like when it's not convenient, right? Because I promise you it won't be convenient all the time. And the large majority of the time, your health is going to feel inconvenient, taking care of it. But I truly believe that what's more inconvenient is taking care of an unhealthy person. Like, it's more inconvenient to have to go to the doctor multiple times during the year and multiple times to get medications or prescriptions. Like, I believe that is just as inconvenient as going to bed at 9 o'clock so that I can wake up at 5 a.m. to work out. I just like the outcomes better of the second option.
Yeah. Oh, girl, preach. I get it. It's funny, as I recorded a solo podcast yesterday, and I think I mentioned Rachel Hollis's book, Girl Wash Your Face, probably about 3 times. And I'm already ready for her next book to come out with the Girl Stop Apologizing. I'm like, yes, when is it coming?
Yeah, I love it.
I love it. Well,
we just need to be our own cheerleaders.
I think so. I'm like, can we just buy tickets to her next event and be right up front and be like, Rachel, oh my gosh.
Yes, I'll go with you.
Done. Well, I did have a question in regards to kind of that whole topic of like being committed, not breaking a promise to yourself. What are some ways that you have found helpful to help keep that commitment to yourself? Like, whether it's exercising or even just eating right? Like, do you have any tangible tips that you could give to our audience?
Yeah, the biggest thing I'm gonna say is it's not about how you feel. It's not about how you feel, because you'll never be dedicated or consistent if you base your decisions and actions on how you feel in that moment. And I even tell my students all the time, the only thing consistent about emotions is that they're inconsistent. That you're going to feel one way and 5 minutes later you may feel differently. And so if we base our decisions off of how we feel, we're going to create a really inconsistent life in every area of life. And so then when you apply that to like working out or to meal prep, then it kind of takes the emotion out of it, which makes me feel like I have more control over the situation as it is. So instead of being like, oh, I don't feel like working out, it's just something that I do. But it takes time to develop that discipline, those habits. And some of the things that helped me develop it was accountability. So whether it's checking in on Instagram with your community, or whether it is having a sister who's doing with you, a sibling or a parent, maybe it's a mom who's always wanted to be fit as well. But having that person where every single week I'm going to check in with that person and see how we're doing on hitting our goals, and hitting small manageable goals is another thing that's going to help you build that dedication and consistency. I didn't start out working out for an hour 5 days a week, you know. And if someone looks at my journey now and they say like, oh, I can't be like her because I can't work out 6 hours per week, then I would say you shouldn't work out 6 hours per week. If you're starting out, you'll burn out and you'll injure yourself. That's a really horrible idea.
Yeah.
But instead, start with 15 to 30 minutes, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, especially if you aren't working out at all right now. Something that's small and manageable, and then tell someone that goal. Write that goal down. Put it somewhere you're going to see it every day. I wrote down my weekly goals, and I would put them on sticky notes and stick them on the mirror. So whether it was like, here's my weight goal for the week, or here is my meal prep goal, or my snack goal, I'm only going to have 2 desserts this week, 3 desserts. We're slowly coming down. I would put those on sticky notes from where I'm going to see them every day. I also am a big fan of motivation walls, and rewards. So when I was trying to hit my weight loss goal, there was a triangle bikini that I really wanted. But triangle bikinis are expensive. They like over $100.
Oh, yeah.
I did not spend money on swimsuits. I bought them all at Target. I buy everything at Target still. But I wanted that swimsuit, and I said, like, once I hit my weight goal for that, like, 8-week challenge, so not even, like, my overall goal, that once I hit that goal, then I would buy that swimsuit. So I could have bought it right away, but I was like, I'm going to wait until I hit it. And even when I didn't hit it in the 8 weeks, I waited, like, the extra 2 weeks or whatever it took to get it, and I printed off a picture of it, and I wrote, like, my goal next to it. And so I put it literally on the file cabinet right in front of my desk where only I could see it.
I love that.
My students could see it, so that I would see it just when I was sitting at my desk every day. So having that accountability, having your goals written down, having them like visible, and having reward systems are all things that were really beneficial towards keeping me motivated even when I didn't feel like it. And then surround yourself with people who support you in your goals, because if someone's being negative and like telling you that your goals are unrealistic or not supporting you in a healthy lifestyle, then they aren't serving your life. They aren't caring even about you being healthy, which is something that's good for you, and they should care about that, and we should care about the health of people that we love. And so make sure you surround yourself with those positive people that are going to help you stay on track.
I love that. Like, I got nobody have time for that if they're not positive.
They have time for that. I mean, if someone came up to me and they're like, why are you working out so much? Like that, like, you don't need to work out that much. I would be like, you don't get to decide, actually. Like, and it's not that I'm being rude. Like, it's that this is my body and I have to live in my body. And you don't have to live in my body. And so if you don't want to, that's fine. But it's the same with food. And we were talking about this on Instagram, having like that social community of when people make you feel bad for eating healthy. And the idea was that they don't have to live in your body. And so they can feed themselves whatever they want, and you get to feed yourself whatever you want. And as long as you feel comfortable and happy and confident in your decisions, and if that includes a piece of cake, then go for it, because you're the person who is taking care of you and your mental and your physical health. And that's what's most important.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get why there's so much girl shaming. I almost feel like it's on Mean Girls when she's like, there's some girl on girl crimes going on here. And we do it as women to each other. You know, we go out to dinner with a group of friends, or, you know, people, when you're on a weight loss journey, I know, because I've been there, or like when I was prepping for my national pageant, I was like, when I'd go out to dinner, this is what I'm going to have. And I would know it. Right. And those supportive friends were like, oh my gosh, like that, I'm so proud of you. Like you're on a great goal. But then I feel like it's those women that are not self-sufficient, self-secure yet. You know, they're on their own journey, but they want to almost bring you down and say like, oh, we'll just have the piece of cake. Just have the cupcake with us. It's like, no, I'm on a strict plan right now. And it's because I'm trying to make certain progressions and certain goals. So if you had somebody in your life, you know, if somebody's listening and they have someone in their life like that, what would you tell her to say to her friend, whether it's a friend or even a family member, to help encourage her to, you know, kind of support her own self? Yeah.
Right. It can be hard, but the biggest thing that I would say is just letting them know, like, it makes me feel good, you know, like this makes me feel good. And that way they know it doesn't have to do anything with the people that they're eating with or where they're going out to eat. But if someone was telling me like, oh, like you should really just have cake or you should have cookie, and I don't want to in that moment, I can be like, oh, like, thank you very much. I'm good. You know, like I really want to eat this. It's fine. And also to not worry about that, you know, and to let people know that like, oh, it's just how I feel like eating right now, or this is just what I really feel like eating in this moment, you know, and just knowing that it's okay to want to make those choices for yourself and that it is so good for you. And if that hurts their feelings, as much as like it's be sensitive to other people, you also don't have to compromise like what you want and what's best for you in that process. I don't think that we need to snap back, you know, as someone who is maybe judging our food choices, but just letting them know, no, like I'm fine, it's totally okay. And if that makes them feel bad, then I'm saying that it has more to do with their relationship with food and where they're at right now. And that's okay too, because I've also been there, you know, like I've also been in that place where I didn't care about what I was eating. And so I was like, why do you care about what you're eating? Because I don't care about what I'm eating. So I just don't understand it because I'm not in that place yet. And maybe one day I will be in that place, but it reminds me of the quote of, first they'll ask why, and then they'll ask how. And so at first they're asking, why are you having a salad? Or why is it that you're prepping meals to take to your lunches while everyone else is eating out? But then later, like when your results are showing and your goals are showing and you feel so confident, you have all this energy and you're just like glowing with that healthy positivity, they're going to ask, how did you lose the weight? Like, how did you get so fit? How are you now able to run when you weren't running before? How are you able to participate in all these physical activities that you weren't doing before? And it's because of those small choices and those moments that you made sacrifices. And when people see that, it's a testament to what you're doing, and they don't even question your choices anymore.
Yes. I can't remember what it was on, but I heard a podcast or an audiobook or something, and the author or the interviewee said something along the lines of, the question shouldn't be, you know, how do you get such and such results, but what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get it? So it could be like, hey, I'm willing to sacrifice eating out and prepping my own meals and taking them with me in order to get the results that I want. Or what, you know, what are you willing to give up in order to get to the next level that you desire?
Yeah. I asked that question just the other day on social media, was in order to achieve greatness, blank is required. And a lot of people were putting in, like, what is that word that you think is required to achieve greatness? Or maybe it's just to achieve your goals. And for me, the word that I put in all caps was sacrifice. That I think in order to achieve, like, even health for yourself, whether that's mental, social, or physical health, that it requires sacrifices in other areas because you have to be intentional. And so I can't necessarily say that I want something and then not line up my actions with what I want and expect to still get it. And so I'll have to adjust my actions, which may require sacrifices. Maybe for me, the sacrifice is going to bed at 9 p.m., instead of staying up until 11 or midnight, because
I really want to watch that next episode on Netflix.
I know. I promise the next episode will still be there.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Endorphins.
Yes.
Endorphins will get you through.
Oh, it's like, actually, Rachel Hollis said that. I don't know if it was in her book or if it was her podcast, but she said, when women are like, well, I don't have time to build my business or I don't have time to work out. Right. She's like, okay, you don't have time. Well, tell me about this season of Handmaid's Tale. And they're like, oh, well, so-and-so is doing da-da-da. And she's like, right. Yeah, you don't have time.
There's a really great documentary. It used to be on Netflix. I'm not positive if it is now, but it's called Fed Up. And I show it in all my health classes. And it just talks about all sorts of good nutrition information and like healthy eating and America's culture around food. And one of the quotes that one of the Southern women at the end, she shares was, Mama used to say, instead of saying, I don't have time for it, try saying it's not a priority, because people make time for what they want to. And it's so true. I make time for all sorts of things that I really want. And maybe what I really want is to watch Netflix, and so that's what I'm making time for. Or maybe it's I really want to read a book, and so that's what I'm making time for. But people make time for what they want to, and so when I trade out that mentality for I don't have time, instead of saying it's not a priority, it makes you evaluate your priorities, because I'm just full of quotes right now. They're things that have been motivated me. It was, don't prioritize your schedule your priorities. So if I try to just look at what I have and make it all fit, then chances are I'm going to leave out things that really are priorities to me. But if instead I start with, my priority is to be healthy, to take care of my body physically, mentally, and socially, to take care of my relationships and my family, and to do well at work. And then I look at my schedule and I say, where am I scheduling in the things to accomplish those priorities? Then my schedule is going to be way more intentional, and I'm going to actually accomplish a life that lines up with my priorities in the end. So
yes.
It's a huge difference.
Dang, girl, we can just drop the mic right there and end the podcast. Podcast done. That was it, everybody.
That's it.
That's all she wrote, folks. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but it's just being intentional, and we have so much lost time that we don't even realize is lost. That was one of the things they recommend, like personal trainers, if someone says they don't have time, write down. Go ahead, and I would challenge anyone listening to podcasts, like, schedule your day, write it down, how you spend each hour of your day. Just write down, like, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., or maybe we need to go later for Netflix, 10 p.m., and write in each hour, just look back on your hour and write down whatever it is you did or accomplished. Maybe you're staying at work, maybe you had lunch, maybe it was like getting dinner ready or whatever it was, but write down all the activities you do for each hour, and then see like where you actually do have time, where you can fit things in.
Yes. I wish people could see me right now, because I'm like, preach, girl, hands up. Think we just went to church, like, preach.
Right. Well, find time. I can find time. Even the busiest of us, I am one of you. Like, it's not like I have more hours in my day than anybody else.
Right. Well, and I know the schedule of being a teacher, that's demanding in and of itself, especially high school level, because they're starting school roughly around, 7:30 in the morning?
Yeah, we start at 7:45, and so we get rolling early, but I actually will start teaching a 0 hour next week, so I'll be starting at 6:45.
Oh, no big.
Up even earlier. So I literally am changing my workout time to work with my new schedule, because it's not like my schedule changed and I decided to stop working out.
Right, yeah, because that's a big wreck for you. That's one of your priorities, one of your values.
It's a priority. I'm going to find time for it, so I have to change my workout time, but I'm okay with that, and it may be rough for the first week or two because I'm not used to it, and I already got myself used to a different schedule, but really finding that time makes all the difference, and I know that it's important to me, so I don't miss it.
Yeah. Well, what does a typical day look like for you, just out of curiosity?
Yeah. So my typical day right now I am waking up. So if I'm doing a 5 a.m. workout, then I'm waking up at 4:30 because I get over to the gym by 5 and we have an hour-long workout. I come home at 6 and I have to leave by 7 a.m. So when I come home, I pull out all my meals from the fridge for the day because I meal prep typically on Sundays, but literally today it was like a Monday morning meal prep. Like I prepped from 6 to 6:30. I made my salads and hard-boiled eggs and got my protein bars and fruits and veggies out, and I'm good for my meals, my first 4 meals of the day. So I got my prep together, get my food together, get myself ready. I get out the door by 7. I'm at work from 7 until, it depends, but typically around 1. I get off a little bit earlier because I have extra responsibilities outside of normal school hours as the ASD teacher. So I'll get off around 1, and then from 1 till like 3, I'm still doing prep work normally for teaching. Mm-hmm. So even though my scheduled day is over, it's things just like grading or running errands for ASB or trying to take care of life. So all those random errands that you have for life or like groceries happen during that little gap. And then I coach half of the year. So I coach half of the year, and I'll practice from anywhere 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 p.m. But that's different. Sometimes you have games. So I'll have games from 5 until 10 p.m. on some evenings. Or since I'm the ASB teacher, like on Saturday we'll have set up for a dance on a Saturday morning, and then you're chaperoning the dance all through the evening. And so that's why my teaching schedule is a little different, because we throw in, like today I had a study day after school for ASB, and so I'm there for an extra 3-4 hours after work. So that part is kind of chaotic, right?
Right,
So that's why we wake up at 4:30 to go get our workout in at 5, because there's really not necessarily gonna be time in the afternoon. And also one of the big priorities for me is my marriage and my relationship with my husband. And so I'm not willing to sacrifice, and it's just a personal thing for me, I'm not willing to sacrifice time in the evening that I could be hanging out with my husband and building relationship with him for working out. So if he's home, I want to be home unless I have work. I was like, unless school duties call, in which case like he tries to chaperone and stuff with me so we can still have time together. But I don't want to take up that time in the evening. So in the evenings, if it's a normal day, I'll be home with Andrew he gets home around 4, so we're home by like 4 or 5, and we eat dinner together. We prep our healthy dinner. Dinners are the only thing I don't meal prep, because I like making them at home fresh. I think it just tastes better. But I'll prep dinner, and then Andrew and I will like watch a show, hang out, and we're in bed by, oh my goodness, during the winter, 8:30 sometimes.
Right? It's like, pitch black outside right now.
There's been nights when Andrew and I are laying in bed at 7:30. We don't go to sleep yet, but I'm like, oh my goodness. The goal has been in bed by 9, asleep by 10, and I set a bedtime for myself after I learned someone else had a bedtime. He was like, I have to go to bed, I have a bedtime. And I was like, wait, you have a bedtime? I was like, we're like 20.
How old are you?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I'm a grandma. I try to be at least in bed by like 10, so I get it.
That idea of having a bedtime, though, was life-changing for me, because I was like, I can schedule when I'm going to go to sleep. And it took a few weeks to develop that sleep pattern, but now that I have it, my body loves it. And I know that so even if I can sleep I'll go 7 hours, and then I'll wake up. Like, that's just kind of the natural amount of sleep that I need. And so in order to get up in the morning, I need to be in bed by 9, asleep by 10. And it's a habit that you build just like working out, because you have a priority. So you build them all the same way.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Oh, I love that. So tell us a little bit about the fur baby. I didn't hear anything about that.
I have my dog. My dog is named Guster.
Oh my gosh, how cute.
We call him Gus, or Gus.
Gus. I always think of Cinderella.
Like Gustafer, Goosapoo, I don't know where that one came from. Like, there's just all these baby names for my dog. But he's a Shih Tzu. He weighs like 10 pounds. He was like a pound when we got him. I think he's just has the cutest face in the world. And it's so funny because one day I'll be a mom of actual human children. But for now, all the things when I'm talking with moms and they're talking about their kids, I was like, wait, that's the same for my dog.
Like, it's totally true. I'm a dog mom.
I was like, oh my gosh. But he cuddles with me every morning after I get home from working out while I drink my coffee, because that downtime also is a priority. That like 20 minutes of sit there and drink my coffee and hang out with my dog in the morning, it like revitalizes me for the entire day. But his name is Gus, and he's 4 years old now. So
oh, how cute.
he's
oh my
getting
gosh.
older all the time. And I'm tempted to get him a sibling, like another dog. I was like, I don't know.
You're like, one step at a time, babe.
I know. I'm practicing my children's skills on my dog.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know I mentioned this in my little intro for you, but you are a fitness influencer. I mean, obviously we've been talking about fitness a ton. We know now why you're so into it and how it's changed your life immensely. But, you know, a lot of my listeners might not know necessarily what a so-called influencer is. Maybe they're not on the Instagram as much, but would you explain what it is to be an influencer and what do you do as one?
I'll tell you when I find out. What is this term? What is this? I feel like it's something I fell into, and then when people started using the term towards me, I was like, I don't know what that is. What does that mean? And I guess for me, as I have like come into this, I've realized that all it means is that you help people live a healthy lifestyle, and you give them tips and ideas on how they could do that from your own experiences. So it's really just like a fancy name for I share my fitness lifestyle online, and so that people can see it, and if it helps them, then I'll keep doing it. Well, really, as long as it continues to help people, then I will continue to keep doing it. And you kind of just learn a lot more about yourself and what you believe about health and fitness by being someone who would be looked at as like having it figured out, which is the funniest thing, because I in no way have like figured it out and like accomplished the goal. And that's the thing with the lifestyle, it's going to be your entire life. But influencing, basically, from what I have discovered by being on Instagram, is it's just people who share their lifestyle and share tips. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. You kind of cut out there for a second, so hopefully my listeners heard that. But you said it's about just sharing kind of your lifestyle and tips on social media. And yes. I think you said something along the lines of like, I don't have it all figured out. I completely agree. I don't think anybody has it all figured out, and if they do, they are lying.
Right. No, if they look like it's all together all the time, then we know it's not true, because all humans are like all over the place. But I think that's kind of the joy too of sharing your fitness journey, is that it's all relatable, and it's all in the sense of like, oh, I was sick, I didn't work out for a full week, like how do I get back on track? Or like, I went out with my friends, I ate nothing but donuts this weekend, how do I get back on track? You know, or I had a great time having friends over, hosting them at my house, and had more wine than I anticipated, and now how do we bounce back, right? And so all of those things are the things that I've just experienced through my journey, and I love sharing them with other people. And especially too, coming from a place of like, I majored in health and fitness, I'm a certified personal trainer, so it allows me to answer questions for people who I maybe never ever would have been able to meet otherwise, and who maybe they don't have that resource to be able to reach out to in person. So they're like, oh, I don't know a personal trainer in person, but I know Lisa's on Instagram and she'll answer my DM, and I will. I go out of my way to make sure I answer every single direct message that I receive about any fitness question that anyone has. And I don't care how long it takes. If it helps other people live a healthy life, I just believe that people deserve to feel their best and live their best and most healthy life. And we're all trying to figure out how to do that. It looks different for everyone. So if I can help anyone do that, then I want to take the time to answer questions and help them be able to accomplish that.
No, and it's so true. You answered my DM because I just reached out to you and I was like, hey, I've been following you on Insta, and you live in Tri-Cities, I live in Tri-Cities. Would you want to be on my podcast? And you definitely answered back. And I was like, yeah, sweet, let's set it up. And too, like, I got a little inspired by you because that was me after the holidays, like had a few too many Christmas cookies, and I'm like, all right, how do I get back on track? It's the first of the year. Not that I still continued to work out over the holidays, but like and this is for anybody, it's not just me, but you can't work out a bad diet. Like you can't work it off. You just can't. And so I knew that, but you know, anyway, then I saw your kind of like 6-week challenge or something that you posted on Instagram, and I was like, all right, I'm on board. Like, I'm going to get back on track, prep my food again, pack lunches with me again, get back to where, I just I need to be, because it helps me feel so much better. Like, I know I was dragging energy wise. I was lethargic, and I was getting winded going up a flight of stairs after all the holiday cookies. I'm like, all right, got to bring it back in.
It's like we're feeling it. But what I love is that that's all just like a part of our life, like that's just all a part of life. And we don't have to sacrifice all of that in order to be healthy. Like, I can enjoy nights out, and I can enjoy like weekend trips and still have the fit life. And if we try to just get so restrictive on everything, then it's just going to cause like this guilt and this shame, or this like negative relationship with food, and cause anxiety. And the last thing that we need is like food anxiety when we're trying to take care of ourselves. It's like food should give us like positive feelings, and it should give us like that life and that energy that you're talking about. And so making sure that like I know that I can do those things, and I don't have to feel guilty about it, and it's all just part of life, and I can continue on. And Monday through Friday, I'm back on that 9 to 5. I got my meals prepped, and I know that I'm going to feel great. And so that kind of helps me stay focused as we go through all those different transitions in life as well.
Yes, I love it. If you had, one message, like a one concise statement of the one thing you could tell every woman on earth, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. I don't care if they take that and apply it to fitness, or to their professional goals and career goals. I 100% believe that anyone can accomplish anything that they want in life, and that they can have success if they set their mind to it and they're willing to put in the work. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy or
it's not
be a straight line,
Absolutely.
Like, I don't think that it will be. In fact, like, I can probably promise you that it won't be. But at the same time, I truly believe that if you're dedicated to it, if you're consistent, if you're persistent, and you're resilient, and you're willing to work hard and continue working hard for a long period of time, that you can accomplish anything, and that you can have anything you want, whether it's like that fitness related goal that you have, whether it's like, I want to run, or I want to lift, or I want to like lose weight, or I want to feed myself well and consistently. I want to be vegan or vegetarian, or maybe you want to try a different type of diet, that you can have success if you're willing to continue to work hard at it and believe in yourself. Like, you have to keep believing in yourself in order to be that consistent over a long period of time.
I love that. Am I hearing a Journey song in the background?
Right,
Don't stop believing.
Got you.
People are going to be like, wow, they really just started singing on this podcast. That just happened.
Probably wanted to sing along.
Admit it, you're in your car right now and you're like, yes, I'm going to find some Journey on my podcast or my iTunes for sure. I love it.
I love it.
Well, I have another question that I ask all my guests. Actually, I've got 2 more lined up that I ask everybody. Okay. First one is, do you have any awesome resources that you have been like binging on that you would love to share? Maybe it's like a lifestyle hack app or book or whatever, podcast.
Yes. We all knew it was coming. Any Tone It Up girls who are listening to this podcast, they're like, where it at? You go check out Tone It Up. You want some awesome, solid, hard at-home workouts with minimal equipment that is affordable. I think it's like $85 for the full year of unlimited access to the app, which means that you could do as many workouts, whatever workouts you want, whenever you want. And they are absolutely great workouts. It has HIIT training, yoga, pregnancy, pre and postnatal. It has kickboxing. I don't know if I said that one, but it has any type of workout that you could possibly be looking for, and they're all videos, so you can just follow along. It's not like a PDF where I have to self-motivate or put on my own music. I can just hit play and work out. So I love the Tone It Up app as a actual affordable at-home option, or you can take it with you to the gym. You know, you have a gym membership or you want to use the equipment there, then take it with you to the gym. And also they have a nutrition program that is like $175 one time for life. You are a member. So you get any nutrition plan they will ever make in the future, any nutrition plan they have ever made in the past, which is over 20 different nutrition plans with thousands of recipes. So I know that 175 sounds like high, but you pay it one time and you'll get everything for the rest of eternity. Like, how great is that?
Right? Yeah.
I would say that I waited 2 years before I got the nutrition program, and I was like stocking all the free recipes online and everything, which is great. Go ahead and do that if you want to check out like what the recipes are like. They have a free 5-day detox that has a bunch of recipes on it that people could look at if they're interested. But once you get that program, that was a huge investment in my health, and that was a type of eating I could maintain. Like, I'm going to eat 5 times a day, and I'm going to eat consistently throughout each day, and I'm just going to eat like good quality foods. It wasn't like we're going to track macros and we're going to track calories and we're going to track all these other things and we're going to cut out these foods or cut out those. They don't cut out any food group.
Right. Rather than seeing things like this is a bad, dirty food and this is like...
No. Yeah. They're all about like it's all in moderation and giving you the tools you need to be successful. So I would say by far that's like the number one resource I would recommend. And then also, I mean, use Instagram, find personal trainers and stuff, ask them your questions, send me a DM. I would love to help. And there's really an awesome online community of people that will be willing to help you if you just like take a chance and reach out and ask questions.
I love those. And those are all wonderful places to start. It sounds like even just whether you're on the beginning of your journey or somewhere in the middle or towards the end. I love all that.
Definitely.
So I have another question. It's very open to interpretation, so take it whatever way you want. But what does it mean to do things with style and grace to you?
To me, doing things with style and grace means embracing who you are and living that out every single day. So putting in the time to figure out who I am, what I care about, and then lining up my life to reflect those things, and from there embracing the type of person that I am and not trying to be any different than I am, understanding what my personality is and loving the strengths of that and embracing the weaknesses of that while completely owning it and not trying to be someone else or a different type of personality because someone else has a different strength. That style and grace just means that I'm comfortable being who I am and that I know I have strengths and I know I have weaknesses and that I'm okay with those weaknesses, and I'm going to use my strengths to my best advantage to try to inspire others and help them do the exact same thing in their own way.
That's powerful. I love that. So where can our listeners find you, stalk you in all the good ways on social media, websites, etc.?
The biggest one is on Instagram. So on Instagram, I am Elise Fit. So it's the little @ symbol, Elise Fit. Also, send me an email anytime. It is eliselefit@gmail.com. And you can also search for the Elise Fit page on Facebook and join that group. So I post about meetups and events on that group. If you're in the Tri-Cities, I love doing summer group fitness events, and so we'll probably have some of those. And there is a Tone It Up Tri-Cities page for the Tri-Cities if any local listeners are looking for a great group of fit girls who want to have fun, work out, and drink some wine.
Oh, fun. All the great things.
All the great things in one meetup. I don't know why you haven't come already. I'm like, oh.
I don't know why I haven't. Like, what the heck?
The next one. We're going to go boxing next, so I'm telling you, there's a group of people out there who want to hang out with you, and you find them online, and you connect with them because they want to meet you too.
Yes. No, that sounds like so much fun. My husband made me do, or maybe try out Muay Thai boxing with him a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I was surprised. I was like, okay, kind of like this. My shins are on fire after the kicking exercise on the actual, body bag thing. But after that, it was fine. After my shins cooled down.
The two things I can guarantee with like any fitness meetup I do, any Tone It Up event you go to, it's going to be like sweat it out and have some mimosas or wine or something afterwards with some healthy snacks.
Yes. Reminds me of there's a fun run in Tri-Cities at one of the wineries around here called Hope in the Vineyards. And, you get done with your run and you get a glass of wine at the end.
Perfect. Motivated.
Yes. All right, girl. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. And I'm sure my listeners will get just as much tangible tips, information and inspirational stories from you as well. So thank you again for being on the show.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And thank you for listening.
Hey ladies, thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. To help empower more women, please be a doll and rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. For show notes and other free resources we mentioned today, go to styledbydeidra.com.